We reached out and got 1,300 proposals, and half of those came from Africa. And my next visit back to the continent, which will be in October in Senegal, we'll have a chance to celebrate the winners of that contest that look very, very promising.
Pleasure to host this session, which is the Microsoft Responsible AI Dashboard session, focused on awareness to drive inclusion, accountability, fairness, and responsiveness of AI models.
My expectation for this workshop basically is to learn, some of the best practices as regards, the AI system.
How to use AI, that's artificial intelligence, to strategize into what I do, which is data science.
If you're trying to deploy a system across, let's say, different geographies, then you don't just want to rely on historic data for a particular geography.
AI is now in our faces. It's something that we now use daily. So it means that even as a user, you have to be responsible.
I'm trying to start this my new journey with DSN. I'm hoping that I start on a very great level.
How you use AI also matters. Are you using the AI for what it's meant to be used for?
is Godwin Kwame Fuji. I'm a parent.
My name is Kabuchi Mohammed and I'm a teacher.
And my name is Edwin Hilary, a youth advocate and children advocate from Youth for Change Initiative.
My name is Anolapo Ayikbe.
My name is Oyebade Grace Omulola, a teacher in this great school, State Senior High School.
I'm Rebecca Ode from Dreams from the Slum Empowerment Initiative.
My name is Mrs. Diokeke. I'm a teacher and a parent.
I see TikTok as a child play.
Videos that were downloaded from maybe TikTok. I even thought most of those videos are just for fun, on useful purposes.
So I used to know a TikTok as a free social media where you can send a message, videos, and other video clips.
I just TikTok was just for fun and entertainment, basically, especially because my kids and I, we love watching the skits on comedy and the rest.
I just know TikTok as an app in the social media. I don't know much about it.
I used to look at TikTok as one of those social media before. So I've been preventing my children from even interacting with the media.
I have TikTok on my phone, but I hardly use it because I feel it's an app that is only used for dance, for videos and all.
I only know how to use TikTok to make videos.
I did not know how to monitor my children's TikTok before.
I've known that apart from using TikTok to make video, comments, I also learned that I can use it to guide my children. I can filter the comments coming to their page. Then now I know that there's an age limit.
The privacy settings that ensure that the children, have accounts that are private, such that people don't just have access to their accounts without permission.
I also learned that I can even monitor my children on what they watch on TikTok.
Reporting inappropriate content. I think it's a feature that I love so much, in the sense that anything that goes or happen that I know that is not appropriate, I have the channel to be able to report to TikTok.
Today I learned that there can be much more, even as an educator. It can be utilized properly, even for children, setting limits, setting boundaries, and all of that.
How to manage it, to even correct the students, even my own children.
How to monitor children when they are using their device online, especially my kids.
But now I discovered that it's a social media where I can control their usage, their responsible usage of the media.
I'm able to know that I can control my children's interaction with TikTok, and I can know how deep they are doing concerning what they are learning. Then at the same time, TikTok is not only for musicals, dancing or comedy. It's something you can go further to learn more, even about painting, cookery, and a lot of other beautiful activities. Safer together.
Safer together.
Safer together.
Safer together.
Python for data science. And then since today is the last day, and then we have learned a lot. Yes, you cannot agree with me that we have learned a lot through this course. Yeah, we have learned a lot. We learned about programming. I just like to just refresh ourselves on what we have been learning for the past 4 days before we move to the training for today, which is on conditional statements and function. Now, the last part for today is very, very important. But at the same time, I just want us to refresh our brain on what we have been learning so far. So good. So now on the comment section, on the chat, I want you to just be dropping exciting things that you have learned, for the past 4 days. I want you to just be dropping it on the chat so that we can have a short, just a few seconds or a few minutes to just recap on what you have learned. And then I can also use that privilege also take us through what we have learned in the past. And before we move to today's section. So who goes first? Who is doing this first? Okay, who is doing it first? I want to see the first person to respond on the chat. Just type one, just in few sentences, just one sentence, what you've learned, especially about Python or your previous, what you think Python is and what you now think it is. How hard do you think it was? And now, how confident are you that, come on, if I can do this thing, I can write, I can instruct machines through the language Python. So now just be dropping it on the chat. Okay, I think I'm having some, okay, good. So I want to see if I can just restore one of my, so that we can just, okay, let me just use the 5. I want us to go through what you have learned for the past 4 classes now. Okay, good. Okay, Python has a large community. Yes, it is exciting to learn a machine learning language. Okay, good. Thank you, Azan. Okay, Fortress said, learned about various, various error, what they mean, syntax error, wrong structuring, splitting and slicing. Yes, I noticed he actually learned it very well. I was following your conversation in the chat when we were being taught. Python is writing but requires consistent practice. Yes, we need to all learn that. And there's a saying that says that Augustus, he said, practice makes perfection. So you can actually be more confident if you are hands-on, and that's why we try as much as possible to make this section hands-on. We want it to be hands-on. Okay, good. So let me start from the beginning. Let me take us through the next 5 minutes to 10 minutes. I want to take you through what you have been learning from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe next 20 minutes. Let me do that. And then 6, 7 will be what we'll be treating today, which is conditional statement and function. So let me just launch this. Okay, let me also launch variables. Okay, good. I hope you can still see my screen. Let me also launch dictionary. And let me also launch this. And for the last one, okay, let me launch conditional statement, and then let me launch functions. Okay, so we'll be moving from one page to another. Okay, good. So now I think this is the first page, which is on the Jupyter. I don't even need to, to take a lot. I don't need to take my time on that. We are now, I'm sure we are now masters of Jupyter. We now know a lot of features. We now understand how to use, how to run, how to create a new cell, markdown, code. We now understand all of those features, important features. We can now insert. We can now insert cells. We can do a lot of manipulations and work with the tool conveniently. Good. So good morning, all. I used to think Python is too technical, but this journey has started changing my entire perception. I think Python is relatable and somehow a direct language. Wow, I did this on your social media post. Yes, just tag Data Science Nigeria, tag a hashtag, just tag, mention Data Science Nigeria, hashtag AI everyday. Just do that, so that people can know that you are now a master. You now understand the concept of Python. Instead of Python has been demystified. Please, we need all of this on your post. Let us just do this. It's very, very important. And let me just help you with the hashtag to use, hashtag AI every day. just do that. Hashtag AI every day, is very, very important for the world to know what you are doing, and it's intentional. Yeah, it's very, very, you need to be intentional about it. Put it on your social media post. Let the world know that you have started a journey, to changing the world, to impacting the world positively. So AI every day is the hashtag that you'll be using so that we can actually track you. Is very, very important for you to use hashtag AI every day. Now, let's come to this. I don't think we need to actually. Don't forget that we learned about programming styles, the unstructured, procedural, object-oriented. I will know what all of this means. We wrote our first syntax, hello, print, hello world. We carried out some arithmetic, was an operation. We added, we subtracted, we carry out some, we did plot division. We also learned that Python also follows orders of operation. Is it PEDAS now? It used to be BODMAS, and now it just follows that order. So we also need to put that so that whenever we want to make a calculation, we can always have that at the back of our mind, that Python was also follows that structure. Now we also move to variables, variables and data type. This was where we were actually looking at different kinds of data type. And then there we looked at the four major data types that we have, which is integer, float, Boolean, and strings. And then we carried out a lot of operations, especially using the type function to identify the type of a variable. Okay, and then we assign variables. Don't forget that we define what variables are. Yeah, variables are what? They are containers. So we use them to store a data set. We use them to store a value. Okay, good. We're able to establish that in our previous. We also did reassignment with the same variable. Now this teaches us that for the Python always keep the record of your last operation. Keeps the record of your last operation. Don't forget this when we are trying to run and run and run, and then it was giving us what we actually wanted. Good. We also did Python strings, and then I mentioned that strings also have their they have methods, they have functions, and that you need to be familiar with. Okay, they have mentioned that, and we also sliced, indexed. We're able to index variables, we're able to index strings, and also be able to, and we use the len functions to calculate the amount of what the length, yes, the number of character in a word. And don't forget that space is also part of the characters. So don't let us forget that that space is also part of the characters. We also did print formatting. Don't forget that we use the format method, to print variables, to fill in a gap. As you can see on my screen now, we're using it to fill in a gap, and that is that's that one. That we also did that for numbers. Also did that. Yeah, we also did that for numbers, and it was awesome. These are some methods, and I told you that there's a difference between methods and function. The method are attached to an object. Yes. So there are methods that are peculiar only to strings. There are methods peculiar only to integer. There are methods peculiar only to some data types. So, and that's why when you attempt some methods on some objects or some values, okay, quote, it gives error. It gives error. You're like, no, I don't understand this. This object does not understand this kind of what is now or does not understand this operation. So Boolean is true and false. Yeah, Boolean is true and false. And then it is also what? Case sensitive. It is not small letter T, it's capital letter T. It's not small letter F, it's capital letter F. And then we were taught none. It was Adejumobi that took us that. So this morning, let me move to dictionary. Let me see if I can just take us through dictionaries. So dictionaries have keys, they have values. For example, as you can see on the screen, this variable need asks a key of item and a value of 1. Okay. We're taught on how to add new key item pair to a dictionary. And then we're taught a lot of stuff the day before yesterday on how to manipulate dictionaries. Okay, so we also created tuples. What are tuples? How do you identify tuple? And tuples are immutable, right? Yes. Tuples are ordered sequence. Don't forget that string are also ordered as sequence, which means you can slice them. They are immutable. Yes, good. They are immutable. So if you don't want your data set to be changed, I getting it, then it means that you need to make it a tuple. You want it to be sacrosanct. You don't want any addition, you don't want subtraction. Then what you use a tuple, and it carries a parenthesis. Yeah, dictionary carries uses a curly bracket, right? With key and value. But tuple is a parenthesis. As you can see on my screen, T is equals to 1, 2, 3. It's a tuple. It's immutability. But list, this is list, and it uses a square bracket. So list, square bracket, tuple, parenthesis, while dictionary is a curly bracket. You can also identify, you can also pick, you can change when you are doing list, you can change the values, you can carry out a lot of what's it now operations on tuple on list. So why use tuples? I've mentioned it earlier on. List and tuple are very similar, so you may find yourself exchanging use cases. However, you should use a tuple for collection or sequences that should not be changed. I think I mentioned that earlier on. And set, this is set. The peculiarity with set is that you cannot have the same value repeated twice in set. We can all remember what our elementary mathematics, set in mathematics is the same thing. So I cannot have 1 and 1 in set. It's really what you cannot duplicate. So in a case you don't want to have duplicate, you can just use set. Just change everything to set. Duplicate will automatically be removed. So it only retains what unique value. So I'm sure you did a lot of stuff on this. So then that's dictionary. We also list and loops. Okay, that was what we did yesterday, right? Yeah, lists and loops. Okay, how you slice and you index lists. It's very similar to string, right? Very similar. You also use your parameter, your start, stop, and step parameter. Using useful list method. I'm sure we're introduced to this. How to append, how to pop, how to delete, how to carry out a lot of operations on list using the list method. So we also taught nested lists. The list can contain a list. A list is so big that it can take almost anything. It can take almost any data type. So good. Okay, loops. We discussed while loop. This is while a is what less than 10, print a is less than 10, a is equals to. Now this is very, very important, because if you don't do it, it will just continue to run, and it can affect your terminal. It can affect your CPU, and that is why you need to control your flow. You need to give it a stop. Yeah. And don't forget that when you are writing a loop, it's always indexed. As you can see on my screen, it is what? It is indexed. Same thing with conditional statements. So, and I remember I mentioned it that indentation in Python is not for readability of code. It's very, very important in Python. Unlike other programming language where indentation is just for readability, in Python it is for it is an important what's it now operation. So as you can see, while a is less than 10, print a is less than 10, a is equals to a plus 1. So now this is what happens. I'm sure you have explained to you yesterday. I'm just taking you through an overview today before she comes and continue from where she stops. Okay, good. So, and you can also ask your question on the chat as that before this moment joins the call. Good. So while a is less than 10, print a is less than 10. It means that it is a condition, it's a condition. Once a, since if a is less than, it's just like why a is less than 10. As much as a is less than 10, continue to what perform this operation. And don't forget that you can reassign. We learned few days ago that you can reassign a variable. So what happens here is you are reassigning a variable. This same variable a, you are adding one to it, and Python flows like this, up to bottom. So a has what? Sim a as what? As 1. So now give a condition why a is less than 10. Execute this action. Now a is now what? A plus 1. So it now goes back. It now goes back. Now a is no longer what? It's no longer 1. A is now 2. It still met the condition. It got here. It's now 2 plus 1. It's now 3, right? It goes back. A is now 3. A is no longer what? It's no longer 1. It's no longer 2. A still meets this condition. It printed it. Now 3 plus 1 is now 4. A is now 4, right? Looking at this, okay, still met the condition. Then it prints on its wall until it did not meet the condition again. That's why it met the condition how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9. It's not 10. It's not 10 because it is not a is less or equals to. So far a is less than, it met the condition. But if a is 10 or greater than 10, it did not meet the condition again. That's why it stopped at 9 and did not continue to 10. Please, on the chat, I want you to just, because we are going to be using this more time, so I want you to just respond if you understood that. If you understood what I just explained, the while loop that I just explained, that why this is this, do this. Understood. Thank you very much, Lawal. Thank you very much. So I want to test this now. So I want to change this number, and I want you to give me the number of response that I will be expecting here. Are you getting it? Okay, y is now our a is now 3. Is now equals to, okay, good. So confirm you can see my screen. Please confirm you can see my screen. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, I want you to give me the number of output that we're going to get. Now, I want the number of output before I run it. So, A is equals to or less than 10. How many output are we expecting here? 7, 10. Okay, 7, 10. Okay, 8. Okay, 7. Okay, good. So now let's run this. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, we got 8. So the first 3, okay, that's the first A, printed this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 8, yes, because equal sign is not part of it. You know, A is equal, is less or equals to 10. That's good. Thank you very much. So simply start by setting variable x to 0. You can also use this, you know, to make it work. Okay, so break keywords. The break keywords allows you to break out of the loop that contains the break keyword. For example, so this keyword allows you to break out of the loop. So it stops the loop. Are you getting it? That's what break keywords is used for. So for example, x is equal to 0, y x is less than 10, print x. Print adding 1 to x. X is equal to x plus this. Now, if x is equal to 3, now break it. Are you getting it? Now, if x is equal to 3, now what? Now break it. So it means that immediately x is 3, it will not continue. So the first one was 0. So 0, add 1 to x. It added 1 to x, it becomes 1. 1, add 1 to x. It added 1 to x, it becomes 2, add 1 to x. So when it got to 3, because of this break word, it stopped. And that's what the break keyword is used for. And this is for loop. For loops, you know, this with each item in the list or in the string in a sequence intertype. Yeah, it just deals with it. So for example, as you can see on the screen, for num in my list, print your action. Num. So for every item in your list, you want it to perform this action, which is what raised to power 2. You are powering each of these. To 2, you are changing the power to 2, and that does it. Good. So let me do this for you. Oh, I think we don't need to do that for character. Now I want to ask you a question. If I should change this character to will I still get the same result? If I should change this character, I've changed it now. I've changed the character to letters. Will I still get the same result? No, error. Okay, error. Nora said yes. Okay, Azan said yes. Lala said yes. Okay, but I'm changing it to letters. I just say yes. Okay. Oyeza said yes. Okay, I want contrary answers. We have a lot of yes. Can I get other? Okay, can I get no? Okay, I already have one no. Thomas said no. Okay, Felicity said no. Letter yes. No, letter is not divine. Okay, good. That's okay. You have changed yes. Okay. Maybe I've tried it. Okay, let me just run it, and I'm going to explain why we have that answer. Esther said no. Good. So let me just run it, and I'm going to explain why we have what we have. Okay, good. It ran, and it gave me the same result. Now, which means that what you use here is inconsequential. Just make sure that it's consistent with what you want to print. I can decide to define it as y. I can decide to define it as I'm just representing each value with a value. You know, each character here with a value. It can be anything. Are you getting it? In fact, that's a variable. So letter is a variable. So you can define it anyhow. You can use any letter to define it. Are you getting it? And that is why it will still give you. But if I should use letter here and I still use character, then I will get error. But anything I change it to, if I change it to my name, for example, Teju, and then this is also Teju. Okay, now this will give me error because it's not caps lock. I use T here is caps lock, and then here is what is I use T here is uppercase, this one is lowercase, it won't work. So I need to make it uppercase if I want it to work. So if I should run it, you see what? Give me Because this is inconsequential, I'm just defining a variable, like I'm just defining the variable that anything, I can call it y, x, f, just to represent each character in that, or each element in the object, or in what I want to work on. So it's inconsequential. I want to know that I can decide to use any letters. Let me just change it to x, and then x. Okay, good. So I don't also forget that your case is also was very important, because Python is case sensitive. This is it. You can also use object for loop, for word in my string. Now you're still talking to now do split. Are you getting it? Now print word. So it's now splitting every word. This is a string. I get it, because we want to split. That does not still mean that you can actually use other what is it now? You can also use other what is it now? We can use this, can also be x, or x, and then let me just use x also. And if I should run it, still, just to let you know that this is inconsequential, you can just use any what is it now? Any variable that you didn't fit, especially the one that is related to what you want to do, so that you can easily understand your operations. Okay, good. So let's see if we can just move to the next what we are supposed to the topic for today. But before I move to the topic for today, let me confirm if you have any question, you can quickly drop it in the chat. Any question, please drop it in the chat. If you don't have any question, if you don't have a question, just say you can move on. Okay, please, can the lecture not be shared with us? It will be shared after today's class. And it was intentional. We did not share it before because we also want you to submit the notes you use in class. So after this section, this is the last class. We are going to forward up the notes to you so that you can also have access to it. How can I access the file to start personal store? Yeah, it will be. Okay, yeah, it will be shared with us. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, good. So I'm waiting in case you have any question before I move on. Thank you. Now, no, so far, this is the best and most interactive and hands-on classes I've engaged in. Thank you, dear said. Wow, Abba, Isa, wow, this your feedback is great. Okay, don't forget to share it. Yeah, share it on social media so that others too can be beneficiary of this. That's why I know we need to let the cycle of belovedness continue. Yeah, it needs to continue. Okay, good. So let's move to conditional statement. Now, conditional statement, really, this is not a big word. It's not a big word. It's what we do every day. Is what we use every day. What we just want to learn today is how do I communicate it to a machine? Are you getting it? So how do I communicate? For example, if let me just, I want to give it's an example of a conditional statement. Okay, so that we use every day. Yeah. Okay, I will eat only if I'm hungry. Are you getting it? Okay. So it's a condition. It means that you only eat when you are hungry. Are you getting it? So you may want to also, give the machine some conditions before it performs some operation. So, and if it met that condition, that is when the operation can be what? Can be done. But if it don't meet the operation, if it don't meet the condition, same thing for you to be part of this class, you met some conditions, some requirements. The first condition you met was you applied. Because anyone that does not apply, they will not what? They will not be, they will not be considered. Okay, we need to first get your application, which is your interest. You are making your interest known that what's the part of it. And so that's the condition. And then we also set other conditions too, even for this class. When we are talking about rules and regulation, if you do not if you are not if you don't respect other people here, if you don't it means that what you can be kicked out of the class because you don't respect others. So look, these are conditions, these are what you do. I don't know if you can just drop in the chat some conditions that that we give that is common to us. And so that's just what we want to do here. We want to also learn how to give conditions to machines. I get in it. And those conditional statements, most of the time, we have them. We have three of it that we are going to be studying. We have if, elif, and x. So if, elif, and x. So we want our program to perform a particular operation only if a condition is met. Now let's start. Can we continue? I want us to know if you can just continue. If the rain falls, take your umbrella. If there is no rain, don't take your umbrella. Good, that's just it. If the rain falls, I take my umbrella. If it doesn't fall, then what? I drop my umbrella. So that's just it. So let us look at this, the format of the statement. This is how it always looks like. You give your condition and what, and the action, what you want it to do. So, for example, as Lawa just gave, if rain fall, take computer, take your umbrella. Else, don't take your umbrella. Opari, do you understand? So simple. If rain fall, print, take your umbrella. If rain does not fall, don't take your umbrella. So you can say, if rain fall, take umbrella. If S, you can just use the word X. Don't take your umbrella. Are you getting it? And let's quickly do so. Let's quickly perform some operations like that on the screen. So now look at this. If 1 is less than 2, print 1 is less than 2. Are you getting it? So if 1 is less than 2, print what? So if 1 is truly less than 2, we use conditional statement to measure the truthfulness of your conditions. Are you getting it? So you can also use to measure it. If it is true, you perform the operation. But if it is false, it will not work. It will not perform the operation. Are we together? Are we together? So now let's look at this. I'm going to change this now. I'm going to change this to okay, let me first run this one so that I can see a positive, can get a positive response. Yes. 1 is less than 2. Good. Now, if 5 is equals to 6, print 1 is greater than 2. What would be your response here? What would be the response here? If 5 is equals to 6, print, okay, let me just say print 5 is equals to 6. Print. Okay, good. So if 5 is equals to 6, print 5 is equals to 6. What would be the response? Error. Okay, your last said error. Okay, next. I'm looking for more. I love contrary. Okay, good. It looks like a lot have responded. None. Okay, Henry said none. I need like 5 more responses before I run it. Nothing. Okay, Lois said nothing. No printout. Okay. Ian said no printout. Nothing. Okay, good. So let me run this. Yeah, there's no printout. Why? Because the condition is false. Condition is false because 5 is not equals to 6. So the condition is what? Is false. Now, you can also apply this on the variable. Maybe you have defined the variable. For example, x is equals to 41. You have defined the variable before. I now want to check, now want to perform an operation based on on a set of conditions. On a set of conditions. Okay, on a set of conditions. And then you have like, if now x is 41, if x is what? Is greater than 10, print above 10. If x is greater than 20, print and also above 20. Now else, print but not above 20. So let me run this. I want to run it now. Okay, I want to change this value first so that I want to change. So I want to get. My own is that I want to understand. I want to make sure that you understand the concept, because that will give you the ability to use it anyhow. Okay, good. Okay, good. So now I want to change this to 30. Okay, I want it to be more the. Okay, let me just put 20 now. 20 now. This is 20. So I want you to give me the output. What would be the output? I want somebody to just think. I'm sure some people are already typing. They are typing. They are running the code, and they're giving me the answer based on the result of what they ran. Okay, but that's not the issue. It's okay that you are running it. But now let me first get some opinion. So what do you think will be the answer? Above 10, okay. Above 10 and below 20, good. Above 10 and below 20. Okay, I need like two more responses before I run this. Two more responses before I run this. Condition not met. Like what said, condition not met. Okay. So it just give us condition not met or error. Above 10. Above 10. So out of all of these conditions, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, we have 4 actions here now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 actions. So out of these 4 actions, so some people believe it will print above 10, only above 10. Some people believe it will be print above 10 and equals to 20. Yeah. Some people believe it will print above 10 and also above 20. Some believe it will print false. Some with condition not met. Now let me run this. And I'm going to explain to you why it will give you that answer. Now let me run it. Okay, it gave us above 10, but not above 20. Above 10, but not what? Above 20. Do you have anyone that got the answer? Let me see. But not above 20, above 10, and also above 20, above 10. None of us got it. Now this is it. We give a condition, our x is 20. We give a condition that if x is greater than 10, help us to print above. So it met this condition, right? We first print it above 10. You understand? So first print out because it meant the first condition, first print it above 10. Now, you now say that we can also print it though. If x is greater than 20, is not greater or equals to, it is greater than 20. You should what? Print and also above 20. But now this x is for this if. Now, but if this s is for this x else is for this if, so it's under it, it's indexed under it. So, but now, if it is not above 20, if it is not greater than 20, then you should print it is but not above 20. And since Our x is not above 20, it is equals to 20. And that's why it wrote, but not above 20. I don't know if you got what I just explained. Now let me start again. We gave an if command here. You got it. Okay, good. But let me just explain it again. This if and this x, they are together. This second if is what is indexed under this if. So it is either of these two functions. This one is independent. I get it. But it's either this function, this command, or this command. One of it must happen. And then if none of these conditions being met, then the x will what? Will work. Now I want you to give me a scenario. What will be x? That will give me above 10 and also above 20. I want to give me what variable will be x that will give me above 10 and also above 20. Type is 25, 21 and above, good. Okay, good. 40, good. So let me just put 21. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, 40, good, above 10. Now, I want to give me what will give me condition not met. Condition not met. Condition not met. What value will be x that will give me condition not met? 10 below. Okay. 19, 8, 10 below. So let me use 10. So now I'm using 10 now. What will be the response? I'm using 10 now. S is 10. What will be the response? Condition not met. Any contrary opinion or contrary answer? Condition not met. Everybody just using condition not met. Somebody should change it now. Just change it. Everybody just write the condition not met. Why? Error. Thank you. Error. I want more. Everybody just follow it. Don't follow the crowd, please. Just follow your mind. Okay, good. So let me just run this. Yes, condition not met. Why? Because x is not greater than 10. It's equal to 10. Thank you very much. Now let's look at the s if x statement. Now, it's just like the umbrella story that we started with. Are you getting it? Now, if this condition is not met, what should it do? Are you getting it? I'm having error replicating the code. No, you can just write it down. Maybe it's not index. Make sure you index it. Look at this. This if the print under it is indexed, it's not under this print. You need to be very careful. That's why I said that this condition is actually under the major one. So they are nested. So you need to be conscious of that. They are nested inside it. So this print and this, you should check it. They are under the same. They are in the same line. Looking at this, are you getting it? So please be very sure that your indentation is done properly. Good. Now, if it rains, carry umbrella. If it does not rain, what should you do? That's why we need to put the x function. Or if you don't put x function, nothing will return. Like what we did here, that nothing was returned. Are you getting it? But if you put the machine, okay, so if the password is wrong, right? Password is wrong. That's just it. So now look at it. If 1 is equals to 1, print 1 is equals to 1. S, print first. If was print first, it was not true. False. It was not true. It was not true. Are you getting it? Just print it. So you need to also what? Be able to tell the computer, what if it does not meet the condition? What should it do? And that's why we have the else conditional statement. You know, these are unless, are you getting it? The hex conditional statement. Good. Now, so let me just change this. I want it to give me first, first, it was not true. Let me just put comma here so that first, it was not true. So I want it to give me first, it was not true. Okay. That's if 1 is equals to 1. So I want it to be like first 1 is equals to 2. Then it will give me first, it was not true. Why? Because this does not meet this condition, so it can't print this. So you now give it another option. If it does not meet it, what should we do? Print this, do this. If it does not meet this, what should they do? Do this. Now, as you can see on the screen, look at this. Let me just make this one 1. So look at this. Password. They have our password here. Save password. This is save our new password. You put your new password. So if this password, the new password, is not equal to the one that we save, print. If it's equal to it, sorry, print the password correct. Else, print. I cannot read it. The person is a criminal. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Now, you need to use this word input to allow you to be able to input text. And the reason for this integer is because I want my machine to know that what should be placed here is what is an integer. So it should what? Recognize it as an integer. Don't forget that we learned our data types. Should what? Recognize as an integer. Okay, good. So this is it. You can just use it for password validation. They have saved your password as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if what you are inputting now does not correlate, not equal to what is saved before, then just give you no. Just give you this. So if it's correct, if it was correct password. But if it's wrong, guys, print wrong password. The person is a criminal. So let me run this. So I want to enter my password now. I just put I want to make it wrong. I want to insert the wrong password. You know, for it to be right, it must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Because that will say it. We have access to the backend now, so we know what the saved password is. And if I click on enter, wow, password is what is correct. Good. But now I want to input a wrong one. And then I run it. Then it gives what? The X command. Sorry. Then it gives what? The X command. Yeah, okay, now it records what that. I'm sure you are following, right? Are you following? It's okay. Are we enjoying it? Are we getting the concept? Are you getting the concept? Please, I need your response. Okay, I want to make sure that we are getting the concept. So I want you to write this. I want you to write something like this. It's very important. I want you to do something like this. No, I want you to do something like this in your notebook now. Okay. And I want to know if you get error or you not get error. I get me. So I want it. So it'll be part of what I'm going to be measuring in your notebook. I want to make sure that you're able to write this correctly. Okay, good. I want to make sure that you're able to write correctly. So try it now. I'm giving you like 3 minutes to do that so that we can continue from 11 o'clock. So we have 3 minutes. And immediately done, it's just 10 minutes done. Then I get like 10, 20 done, then we continue. I want to stop sharing so that you'll not be looking at it. Should I stop sharing? I've stopped. Okay. Now that we shall, okay, I'm sure that some of us must have memorized it. So let's continue. Oh, sorry, Olubisi. So where did, oh, no, 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 no. Okay, okay, let me share my screen. Let me share it again. Let me share it again. Like some people are clamoring that no, I should not take off the screen. Okay, good. Screen is back, so you can continue. Are we all done? Good. So let me just count the number of dons that we have. Mine is not running at all. Why is it not running, Lois? Lawal, how do we flag an error if input is not an integer? Yeah, now I can just make it a conditional. I also make it part of the action that happens. That if it's not integer, then you should print not integer. Okay, good. So I need more responses. I don't know. I don't know the cause. There is so what's the error like? What's the error? Is this syntax error? There is no error. I don't know because there is no error. Okay, good, good, good. Just you said there was error. Okay. Okay, good. So let's go look at uh the the elif. So now let's imagine we have multiple conditions to check before the final else statement. Are you getting it? Now that's where the elif key was coming. Huh? So you see between. So there's still other conditions that they need to meet before the final x. I get as like what you can see on the screen. If 2 is equals to 0, print first condition is true. And if 2 is equals to 1, print second condition is true. And if 2 is equals to 100, print third condition is true. S, print none of the above conditions were true. Shall I come again? So if you have multiple conditions that needs to be checked, that need to be met, that need to be met before the else, the last one, like, okay, are you a student? Did you fill the form? Okay, for example, did you apply? You did not apply. Did you attend class? You did not attend class. You did not be, no, 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 you cannot, you are not a participant. If there are other conditions that need to be met, I get it. Before the else condition, then before the else, then that's where elif comes in. Okay, for example, as you can see on the screen, let me change this. I want to change it. Okay, good. So look at this code. Check it very well. What will be printed? What will be printed? From what I've explained, I want to know those stats. What do you think will be printed here? What will be the output? Okay, so who's going first? What will be the output? Second condition is true. Okay. Okay, second condition is true. None of the condition. I'm going to give a shocker. Shocker. I'm expecting a shocker here. Second condition is true. Please assist. Mine is showing enter your password. And enter the password. You enter the password, then you will now continue. Third condition true. Okay, third condition true. Yeah, so this is the shocker. The shocker is that the answer will be uh let's got it. Let's got it. Let's got it. So let's run it. Yes, third condition true. Yeah, that's just it. It's third condition true. Why? Because number one, the first condition is not true now. One is not equals to two, so it won't print it. It goes to the next one. Is 2 equals to 1? It's not equals to 1. It's even the same thing with first condition. It's not true. So it won't print it. Okay, now let's check again. Is 2 less than or equals to 3? Yes. 2 is less than 3. So the third condition is true. Are you getting it? So 2 is what? Is less than 3. And that's why it printed third condition is true. So it will print the first condition that is true. Out of all of this, so if I wanted me to print the second condition, what can I write here? I want you to print the second condition true now. What do you think I can put here? What condition can I put here that will make the second condition, that will make a print out to the second condition? Okay, I said two. Good, two. Good, good. Thank you very much. You guys are brilliant. You know your onions. Good, because condition is true, yeah. Because it's true, so it will stop. It will not continue the process again because it has met what? The true condition. So that's just it. I'm getting it. Now, I've even explained this, which is, let's see what happens if we had multiple true condition. If you have multiple true condition, what will happen? You don't understand it, please. Okay, look at it. Now, Python will print the condition that is true. It will stop, it will print the condition that is true. So if the condition is true, it will print the action that follows it. And peace. I'm getting it. Number one, look at this condition. The condition is 2. If 2 is equals to 1, print first condition is true. But 2 is not equals to 1, so you can't print it. Elif is 2 equals to 2. Second condition is true. That's why printed second condition is true. I'm getting it. Now, when this one was false, it will go further. Okay, this one did not meet condition. This one did not meet condition. It will continue until it sees one that met the condition, or it just give you the S. None of it is what? None of the other conditions were true. Do you understand? So it will first be going through the code. So these conditions are independent. Are you getting it? They are in the word independent. So most of us are looking at it as if maybe it's still 2 equals to 1. No, it's not about 2 equals to 1 here again. This condition is for this action. This condition is for this action. It's for this action. This condition is for this action. Do you now understand, please? Good. Thank you very much. Good. Thank you very much. So both of us are confused. We'll be like, but that action now is still no. Each condition is for what? Different actions. Okay, good. Now we have multiple conditions that is true. For example, look at this on my screen. I want to change this. Now it's the output will be first condition is true. So why did you think it printed this and it stopped? Okay, because the condition is met already, because it is true. Yes, yes. What's can they ask you? What they said? Why is it not printing other condition when we put two in the second condition? Does it only consider the first true condition? Yes, it's considered, and that's what you're asking here. It consider the first true condition. So, they say in the Yoruba that if you are looking for money and you met honor, what do? You pick honor and go back. Because when you acquire the wealth, use it what? To purchase honor. And then, so if you have met the first condition, there's nothing else to run. I getting it. So you use this kind of operations in tax relating to this. Okay, good. So we have been able to actually go through the conditional statement, the if, elif, and the else statement. And then that's all for this conditional statement before we move to function. So if you have any question, can you just ask now before I move to the next notebook, the next lesson on function? And if you don't understand, just type it on the chat. I don't understand, so that we can use 5 minutes to treat that. So you can now use if, you can use elif, and you can use else statement very well. Okay, so yeah, the notebook, sir. Can you please come again for can you please come again for if and else? So if you just that if this is correct, do this. If this is true, do this. Else means if this is not true. Okay, if this is true, do this. Else, what should we do? I get it. So else gives an alternative that if it is false, then give it an action to also what to perform. Don't just leave it blank. So that it will not give you a blank like this now. Look at this. If you run this, it gave you blank. There's no output because you did not give it the else command. I get it. Let's assume I give it x as print five is not a I get it, I just run it. Yeah. Instead of making it empty, to just print 5 is not equals to 6. But now we now want to give it more, what is it now? Want to give it more consideration, want to give more condition. And now I have as if, now I have as if elif, now I have just like elif, I getting it. Elif 5 is equals to 5 is equals to 5, 5 is equals to 5. I get in a print 5 is equals to 5. 5. So what would be the output here? Everybody, I want you to answer. What will be the output here? What will be the output here, please? 5 is not equals to 6. Okay. Okay. Else. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, now I want more. I want more. I want more. What will be the output? I want like three more responses, then I run because of our time. 5 is equals to 5. Okay. So now 5 is equals to 5. Yeah. So 5 will be equals to 5. Yeah, that would be the response because of the head if. So we now have, if it does not meet this condition, check if it met this condition. And then if it does not meet any of these two, are you getting it? Just print my hex. So since it met 5 is equals to 5, are you getting? Let me put equals to. Since it meant 5 is equals to 5, then what? You give us our what? 5 is equal to 5. So that's just the basic. Okay, good. So permission to carry on. Move on to the next topic, which is function. Function. Can we proceed? Can we proceed? Okay, proceed. Zainab said no. Zainab, what's the issue? Zainab, what's the issue? I am typing the code and it's taking long. Okay, want me to wait? Yes, I want to be carried along. Okay, so let me give you 30 seconds because we also have a lot to work on. So I'm giving you 30 seconds and it starts now. So Lois, you said that you are finding it difficult to run your notebook. Okay, stop the code and run again since it's becoming a general problem. Sorry, my Jupyter notebook is no longer showing out this. Okay, maybe the camera stopped and just make sure that you have not, okay, you have sorted it out good also. Thank you, Lois. So just make sure that you have not stopped your terminal. You are not under terminal, not under from terminal, so that you make sure that everything is running. So you can just stop and then start again, but make sure you save your notebook. Now function. Now we mentioned function and not the first class. Do you remember that we mentioned function in the first class when we were pointing to function as under part of the programming style, under part of programming style, that you define it and then you invoke, right? Can you still remember that we define and invoke? That is under the procedural. Procedural, yes, you remembered, right? Yeah, so we want to look at functions in Python. So, okay, good. So are we good to go? Good, let's go. So a function is a block of organized, reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. Function provide better modularity for your application and a high degree of code reusing. So it helps you when you have organized it, and then it helps you to be able to reuse your code. Defining a function. How do you define a function? So you can define function by following the rules below. Number 1, function block begins with the keyword def. You can see it is bold, def, followed by the function name and parentheses. Number 2, any input parameter or argument should be placed within these parentheses. You can also define parameters inside these parentheses. The first statement of a function can be an optional statement. I get the documentation string of this function or doc string. So it can just be for documentation. Look at it, for example, what you can see here. The code block within every function starts with a colon and is indexed with this full colon, as you can see here. The statement return expression exists a function. Optionally, passing back an expression to the caller. A return statement with no argument is the same as return none. So if you don't put any argument in your return statement, it will just return none. So this is how it looks like. Def, function name, bagger. So this is the keyword, def. And this is your function name, function that you want to create. These are the parameters. And then this is just a comment. And then this is a list of expressions to be executed. And then this can be what? This is your return or the expression you want to be returned. Okay. The following function takes two numbers as input parameter and prints out the sum. Look at this. We want to create a function because we are doing a lot of addition. So we want to create a function that will be helping us to just add together. So whenever we just call it, just add it for us. So this is a function that you can see on the screen. Define, so we are defining the function, and the name of your function is what? Print sum. What are your parameters? A and B. These are your variables. Now this prints the sum of two numbers, A and B. Now print A and B. Return print A and B. So to call this function, what we do is what? The function name and your parameters. A and B, they're just placeholders for what? Your parameters, which is what? As you can see here in this example, it is 5 and 6. So you have created this function. Are you getting it? So you can call it. So you are not writing A plus B again. What you are writing is a print sum 5, 6. So you are not writing A plus B again. Because this is what? This is the action that what? That this function will execute. The function will execute A plus B. Okay, good. So let me run this and let's see the output. Let's see how it works. Okay, so I define that function and then I want to print it. I want to call it now. Are you getting it? Good. So let me call it. So I've called it. And it has run it for me. It has executed it for me. That's 5 plus 6, which is what? It's 11. Now, if I wanted to do for multiplication, what would I do? I wanted to create okay, let's do it together. I just want us to quickly work on this. Okay. So I want to create a function that will multiply. No, I want to create a function that will that will calculate the area of a square. No, not a square now. Let me just say a rectangle. What's the formula of a rectangle? What's the formula of a rectangle? The area of a rectangle, I mean. Length times breadth, good. Now let's do it. So our formula is what? Length. No, okay, let us start from there. Okay, let's first start from our formula. Our formula is what? Area, yeah. Just let's times breadth. I get in. So I don't want it to be, I just want it to be commented out. It's not what I want. I want to create a function that we always calculate the area of a rectangle for us. We don't want to be writing it length times breadth all the time. So we want to create a function. Just be like, okay, let's just def. So let's give it a name. Okay, area. It's too much. It's too long. Okay, okay. Area, rect, area of a rectangle. Or let me write it. Area of a rectangle. Again, what goes next is this, right? Parentheses. So the variables, our variables, we have how many variables there? L and B. These are the ones that can change, right? So you have to put them there. L and what? And B. It's not compulsory it is L and B. It can be any, but because we are wanting to what we are using to relate with what we are doing, that's why we are using this L and B. It's our variable. So what follows according to our structure? Yes, so the column. So we have given it a parameter. The parameter is L and B. So what is the column? Our column is this, our full column. Are you getting it? But I want it to be relatable very well. Let me use the column capital L, capital B, so that we can get it very because I also used it here. Now, enter. So let me just comment out. This is okay. This function is okay. Okay, good. So now I want to now give what to print out. So you now say print L. Now you have to be very cautious of the L times B of the case. I get it. So that's length times breadth. Don't forget this arithmetic. The arithmetic that we learned in the beginning. Yeah, good. Thank you, Jumbo. You have already calculated it. Thank you very much. So don't forget that we are now using the arithmetic that we used. We started from. Okay, good. So length times breadth, and then we return, right? When we return, then we return, right? So good. So we can run it. Now let's call it. So it will now be, if I want to call this now, what will I do? So I want to calculate the length is now, L is what? L is equals to, if our L is equals to 10, and then our B is equals to 5. I get it. Yeah. So now I want to define it now. Our length equals to 10, and let me comment this out. I don't want it to run as a code. Okay, so what will now be how will I call it? How am I going to call it now? Our length is 10, and then our B is what? Is 5. Our breadth is 5. How will I use this function that we have created? So to call it, to use this function that we just created, just be area, rec. That's what we can just do 10, and what? And 5. 10 and 5. That's all. So this is the parameter. Our parameter L is 10. Our parameter is 5. Coming to this question. And then we just run it. And it gives us our question, our answer. Do you understand? So if you have done this, you have successfully created what? A function, a simple function. A function that you can use as anytime. You can use any time to calculate the area of what? Of the area of a rectangle. Are we together? Can we move on? Can we move on? So if you don't understand, just let me know. Just type it there. I don't understand. I should come back again. Then I'm going to do it again so that you can just understand what we are doing here. Good. I think you have a lot of people who understand. So let us now look at it. Can you use the function in another notebook? No. You are not using it for another notebook, in another notebook, or else it's connected. Probably some in a single file, and then you have connected it together somehow. There's a way you do that. You have to call it. You call that function, you call it. There's a way to also call it and make use of it. I'm making sense. I think that's okay. Good. Thank you. Okay, good. Now, all parameters in the Python language are passed by reference. Yes, by reference. Because A is just a reference. That does not mean that it must be right. The head that's used in the formula the function just created as a reference. Okay, good. It means if you change what the parameter refers to within a function, the change also reflects back in the calling function. For example, now look at it. I want to create a function, creating a function, change name, this name. Now print the pass name is name. Format name. Now what is name? Name is a reporter. Now print the new name is the new name. This function, the new name in this function is format. We have learned dot format now. Don't forget. Now call return. Now call the function name. Johnstone, change name. So now what you're doing here is that you want to create a function that changes the name. So your variable here is what? Name. Name is the variable that you have, your parameter. That's what you want to change. Now, this is the operation that what it will carry out. The first thing was to print the name, this name that you gave it, Johnstone. That's what happened. It printed what? Johnstone. Now, you now said that new name is now what? A reporter. So we should now print the new name, which is here, which we have defined here that the new name is what? Is a reporter. Then what? Format, it puts the name here, and then it gives you what? A reporter. You understand? So when you now call the function, and then in your function, your variable is Johnstone, it actually automatically change the name to what? To a reporter. Now, if I should comment, okay, let me first run this. Good. Now, I want to comment this out. What do you think will be the response? Or will be the output? Okay, let me see. What will be the output? The new name is John. Error. Okay. Continue. Oh, yeah, now, okay. The new name is Johnstone. New name is Johnstone. Okay, so let's run this. The new name in this function is what? The reporter. Because this actually overrides this. Because we have defined a name in our function that changes this. So irrespective that this one is just to print, it's just to print the one you passed. But what actually happens is that the name is changed. Are you getting it? The name is changed because what it will consider this the variable inside. the function. You understand? Now let me change it to okay. Let me see what I can do here. It will still change it to a reporter. In fact, it will not just print it out, but it will still be a reporter. But let me just let me comment this. So what will be the response? So global variable is always outside. Okay. Addition and the global variable is always outside. So okay, so let's look at this. What's the response now? What will be the response? What will be the output to this code? I just commented names goes to a reporter. Okay, the past name is John. The new name is this function. It's going to print out 2. And it's going to what's the same John Stone. It's going to print out both. Yeah, it's going to print out both because we have the print and print. So it's going to print out the 2 and it's going to what John Stone. I don't get it. Like, so what's area? Where are you missing it? So we move on to our function arguments. The printout, yeah. So is what you want to see. There are some function, there are some actions that occurs that is executed that you don't see because you don't print them out. But because you have asked it to print it, then you print it out. So we said you should print name, and then the name is what is John Stone. So it was printed name because we have passed John Stone here. That's why it printed the past name is John Stone. Because name here is what we gave it name. The name is John Stone. Now the new name is still name. So and since we requested that it prints it, so the new name is this function is what John Stone. Because what we have commented this out. But if this was not commented out, it still be not the new name is So to call your function, you just need to use your function name. For example, look at this. This is a function name and the parameter. What's the function name? This is the function name and the parameter that we defined. And that's what we call the print sum. I say print sum. The parameter A is 5, parameter B is what? 6. The function name here is what? Area rec. And this was what we also called here, area rec. Parameter L is 10, parameter B is 5. Are you getting it? Change name. These are what? Our parameter, our function name, and name is parameter. Look at the way we called it, change name and name. Are you getting it? Because this is name. You can actually use John Stone directly. Are we good to go? So in function arguments, there are different types of arguments. We have the required argument, we have keyword, we have default argument, and we have variable length arguments. So what are required arguments? Required argument are the argument passed to a function in correct positional order. Here, the number of arguments in the function call should match exactly with the function definition. For example, the function change name above requires 1 argument for it to work. If you call the function without the required argument, it throws an error. Just like when you're filling the form to apply for this, what was it now? For this training. We have some required field that must be filled. That question that you must answer. There is no way you must answer it. Whether you give it the wrong answer, you must answer it. And that is the same thing with required argument. You must fill it. For example, the change name that we just worked on, let me change it to the previous. If you did not put any argument, if you leave it blank, if you left it blank, it will give you error because there is a missing required positional argument. So that argument is important, is required. You must fill it, unless it will give you what? This, and then just be watchful of this error. This error costs a lot of time. You want to use some functions and you not what was now input the required argument. So the required arguments are what? The most computed arguments. They are very, very important. Are you getting it? For example, now, because I not put anything here, name, it will give us error. Error. But because I added a poem here, it will give us what? Because that argument is required, sacrosanct. You must. Do you understand what required argument is? Friday, Timberlake said no. Lushola said yes. Now this is it. I said required argument is likened to the required questions that you must fill. You know, for example, when you are applying for this training, there are some questions that you must respond to. For example, your email, you must respond to it. Are you getting it? Same thing with required argument. These are arguments that you must provide. It is important for you to provide them for your function to be called effective. Or else it will not it will not run. Now, and I give an example of what we just did now. When we created a function that changes name to a reporter. And now we did not provide the required arguments that we have already defined the name. Don't forget that there's a required argument in name. So this name, because it was not, when we are calling it here, we did not put name, it's empty. And when we now run it, it gave us that there is a missing one required positional argument. Are you getting positional? So it's not just that you provide it, it must be in the right position. Do you understand? You are not just giving something, but it must be the right position. The length must be length. The breadth must be what? Breadth. Do you understand? Timilay. How did you understand now? Can I move on? Understood. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good. Thank you, Nura. Good. So now let's move on. So now, because I provided Okoyemi now it's first, because what? Now, what are keyword arguments? Keyword arguments are related to the function calls. When you use keyword arguments in a function call, the caller identifies the argument by the parameter name. Are you getting it? So these are keywords. So you identify it by the name of the parameter that I have already defined. For example, now if I should change this to, let me run this. It worked, right? Now let me change this to age. What would be the response? Will it be error or to run effectively? Will it give us error or to run correctly? Error. Lushola said error. Azan said error. Who's giving me another response? It will run correct. It will run correctly. If I had said to run correctly, okay, good. Age is equals to, let me run it. Yeah, it gave us error. Why? Because the keyword in our parameter that we define is what? It's name and not age. Do you understand, Henry? Do you understand, Fahad? Huh? it will give us error because his name that we said, it is not what? It is not age. And that is what keywords mean. So the keyword, the word that you use, is also very, very what? Very important. Huh? Because can you see it now? Change name, got an unexpected keyword argument. So your error can always help you to debug your code very well. The error you get will help you to what? To debug your code. I thought it was just a variable and it did not matter. No, in this case, it matters. Are you getting it? So that's why I said that we have different kinds of arguments. So arguments are those parameters. We also call them parameters that we define when creating a function, when defining a function. For example, this name. For example, this LB. I getting is an argument. For example, AB it's an argument. You understand? So it's a keyword, and then you must what? You must make sure that you use it very well. Just give us the because we do not. Let me just ignore it. And then let me run it again. It works, right? Now look at this again. We define a print info function, so it prints the information of that we supply. And then this prints the info about a person. That's this function. That's what this function is all about. Name, it gives you so name, NAME is equals to name. And then age is equals to age. That's what you just mean by this that I just put. Name. So this is what we printed out. Name, print name. What's it? No. Age, print age. Then you should return it. I getting it. Good. So now this is it. Name is equals to JC, age 20. Now let me remove this. I want to. Will it run? Will it run? Yes or no? No. Okay, Lawa said no. Okay. Wow, we got a lot of responses again. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Let's run it. Okay. Yeah, it ran correctly. Yes, now you should know that you ran correctly. It ran correctly. Why? Because we're looking at the position, name is still name, and age is still name. But if I want to confuse it now, and I have said age equals to name equals to. Will it run? It ran, right? Yeah, because age is not look at it. Age is equals to what? The way it's represented it does not make sense because the position is still it has been distorted. Name cannot be 20. Name come first because of what we have done here. I getting it because of the position, the way we arranged it. Okay, good, but it's still printed our because there is a parameter B and there is a parameter H. Now, if we had another keywords here now, then to give us an issue, that's when we have our error. Good, 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 good. So then okay, so sorry, that was an internet issue. Okay, good. So now what is default argument? Default argument is an argument that assumes a default value if a value is not provided in the function call or that argument. Looking at this argument, look at this. So we have a default argument here. Age is 25. So if you do not provide another what is it now? Another value, age will always be 25. That is default argument. I getting this. So we used to have a lot of it that if you do not provide any argument, you have already what stated a default argument. Please confirm you can hear me and you can see my screen. Can you please confirm you can hear and you can see my screen? Okay, good, good. Thank you very much. So that's what default argument is. So with default argument, you can see you may not define when calling your function. You may not assign the parameter. You may not insert your arguments, but to still give you back because you have assigned a default argument. As you can see on my screen, this cell, print info age is equals to 25. We have already set this as default that age is always 25. So if you not give a contrary argument, age will always be 25. I getting it. So you have set it as a default. I getting it. So that's just it. That's what default argument is. You have set it as a default that if they not provide any parameter that is contrary, age is 25. And because of that, you can always print it like this. You can always call your function like this without an argument because you have created a default argument. Do you understand? Because I've created a default argument that whether you provide an argument or not, you have provided a default one that we always respond to. I getting it? Okay, good. So this is the default argument. Let me run this. Good. So now you can decide to now provide a contrary value. Like for example, 45, you now print and actually I get it. So that's default argument. Any question before I move to the next one? Any question about default arguments? Any question about default arguments? It's going. Okay, no question. God. Now let's go to the last one, which is the variable length argument. Now, there are some functions that you still want to give room for other arguments. Wants to give room for other arguments. For example, you may need to process a function for more arguments than you specify by defining it. Then these arguments are called variable length arguments and are not named in the function definition, unlike the required and the default arguments. So to do that, you just need to use this, uh, your star, yeah, define asterisk, what you use to what to define your variable length argument. So there are other variables that you want to define, but you cannot just be writing everything inside that. For example, look at this now. This prints variable past argument. Now you have started this scores. So it means that the score can be as much, but you cannot be writing for 80, 90, and 20, 50, all of these scores. Just say the name of the person and the score. I get it. So you can pass as much as possible. Can pass as much as possible. And then you print name is, just format the name. So you put the name, or var in score, then you print the var. And so you have defined an argument, a function that does that prints the name and the variables. Okay. Attendance almost forgot, just practice. Everybody say, okay, that's good. So now, for example, now, as you can see here, we have our name. Well, this name here is a required argument, yes or no? In the attendance, in the chat room, is it required argument or no? Name. Name is required. Okay. Why was scores is what? The score is what your variable length. It can be as many as possible. So you don't know the score. You getting it? So it will now be printing that for every variable you score, print bar. I getting it? Print it. So it first printed the name, and then in score, you now print the scores. You understand? And now let's look at the return statement. Okay. Please confirm that you understand this. Score can be anything. It can be anything. It can be anything. It can be anything. Yeah. So because I've not defined this, that's why. Okay. So return statement. So as we have earlier said, that is what you return that will be what that will be printed out. For example, look at this. With this, you say return total. Let me assume I said, okay, let's assume I said this total, right? I want to say multiply. Multiply plus to E times B. Now return 1. I getting it. So what will be returned? Okay, total, return total. That's goes to some this. Okay, good. So what will be the response here? What will be the answer? 200. Any other contrary 30, 200. Okay, so this indentation U. Yeah. I want to have another. Let's give me this. Aspect function, yes. Expecting it to be right. So it really takes this. What it is. Okay, good. Let me just see this. Okay, so I want you to return the whole. I want to see where the error is. So I don't know why it's giving me this kind of error. Ordinarily, the mol should be at the same level with the t. Let me see this if it is. I've been trying, but it's not supposed to. Should be like this. The return should be like this. They are the same level with the t, like this, but I don't know why it's still giving. Okay, good. Okay, good. That's it. So now it returned 200 because I asked it to return more. So we can have more. We can have more operation, but the one you asked it to return is what will be returned. You understand? Is what you asked it to return that will be returned. And that's why your return statement is very, very important. Now we now have global and local variables. What are you know what variables are, right? So let's look at it, global and then the local. The local variable is the one within inside your function, while global one is outside. Also, there's a global keyword that you can use to make what is even inside your variable a global one. You understand? So this means that local variable can be accessed only inside the function in which they are declared, whereas global variable can be accessed throughout the program body by all functions. So when you call a function, the variable declared inside it are brought into. So that's just it. So you can define a global variable inside the function, but if it's just inside the function, you don't use the keyword global. That actually makes it a local variable to that stuff, to that action. You know what variables are? Okay, for example, sum is equals to a plus b, it's a variable, or let me just say x is equals to 10, it's a variable. So x is equals to 10 here. X is a local variable to this. But with the keyword global, it makes it what? Global, a global variable. So that's just what I want you to get with this, and then we learn to get to know more about this later on in our study. So we have 4 minutes after 12, and then I would like to call it a day, and then I want to appreciate every one of us who has actually joined this class from the beginning to the end. I have noticed some consistent faces here. And please, I want you to celebrate yourselves, everyone on this call. I want you to celebrate yourselves. You have actually done very, very well. Very, very well. Please do celebrate yourself. Victor, good. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Wow, I like this flower. Ibadan, I like this flower. Wow, thank you, thank you. This is the last class. Let's celebrate ourselves. This is the time, it is easy to start, but ending, completing it is actually, so I will celebrate you, all of us from DSM, we celebrate you for your consistency, and then I can boldly say that you have taken a good step, and then you are no longer new to Python. You can add it to your LinkedIn profile. The Python Mister. Yes, because you now understand the concepts, the fundamentals of, you can now write Python comfortably. Yeah, you just need to continue to practice these keys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now listen to the following announcements. Okay, good. So some assessment has been shared with you. And then apart from this assessment and the notes, so just do make sure you complete them. And because this will be the basis for you to move to the next stage. It is very important. Don't forget that attendance must be 80%. So you must have 80% attendance to move to the next stage. And also 80% compliance to submission of your assessment to the next stage. So those that move to the next stage will be contacted for the other parts of this program. Don't forget that this program will run for 3 months. Yes, for 3 months. And then it will run that way till, so there's going to be, we are going to engage you on the DataCamp platform. And then we are going to be having another meeting with everyone that qualifies. That meets a requirement of 80% attendance and 80% compliance with submission of assessment. I'm going to and other requirements, especially making sure that you're a member of Data Science Nigeria with your ID, an important requirement for the next stage. So so I'm going to use the conditional statement now. If you have, your attendance is equal or greater than 80, and if it is if you have 80% assessment submission compliance, and if you have what's it now? Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to use the conditional statement that we just learned. And then if you have your DSN membership ID, yes, you are qualified. And then we're going to get back to you on the next step to take. So please do make sure that you are always on you have your email opened. You check it regularly to be sure that any other information. And also, if you are here to join the WhatsApp group, please kindly do that. Very important, because that's where we'll be sharing most of the information. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Iman, for writing that line of code. Okay, good. So we'll be calling you for further next week. So we'll be at the watch so that you can get all the necessary information. So thank you very much. You are celebrated once again. Thank you for your consistency. And please don't forget, the other part of what we mark go and shout to the world that you are now a Patronista, you have started it, and then so our deadline for submission will be on Sunday. I want to give room for all everybody, we don't want it to be like it was because I was not in the class, I needed to attend to something, and that was why I want to give room. So make sure you submit latest Sunday so that we can. And it's not midnight Sunday. It's by 2 p.m. on Sunday. Make sure you have submitted your assessment, and then you have submitted, you have completed the attendance submission. Move on to the next. So thank you, everyone, and do enjoy the rest of the day. So those that will be joining for the next class, it is still 1 to 3. Still 1 to 3 p.m. So do where to join. Okay, by that time. So do take care of yourself and get prepared for the next class. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, the note to be shared with everyone. They shall do that feed the attendance form. Thank you, bye.
We put out a challenge to ask for ideas about using an AI to reduce inequity. And we reached out and got 1,300 proposals, and half of those came from Africa. And my next visit back to the continent, which will be in October in Senegal, we'll have a chance to celebrate the winners of that contest that looked very, very promising.